2, 3, 4. The hardest part of the ring. The hardest part of the ring. Let's go. Sometimes you go over the top rope and you bang your head on the ring apron. Why do you do that? That's when you feel like a big dope. They're the worst bumps you can be taking. Oh, it's the hardest part of the ring. Hey, the hardest part of the ring. Sometimes you're distracting a referee, and a babyface he has your wrestler pinned. Then you get punched in a ring apron, and you realize all the trouble you're in when it's the hardest part of the ring. The hardest part of the ring. Sometimes you reach out for that hot tag, and you go ahead and make your own comeback, knock it off. That's when you should quit wrestling, and you're better off rolling a thumbtacks AEW. The hardest part of the ring. The hardest part of the ring. Now double claps. Here we go, Bob Squad. It's Monday Night Raw. Somebody had to watch it. It's the hardest part of the ring. The hardest part of the ring. Ba-da-ba-da. Whoa. Yeah. Oh, what is going on, Bob Squad? We are bushwhacking our way through another episode of the Hulu Edition. The Hulu Edition with not limited enough commercial interruption of WWE Monday Night Raw for November 29th. 2021. I hope you're doing well. I just woke up from an impromptu nap, and I'm going to try to do this groggy. Why not? Because it's very late, and you got to see what happens sometimes. You got to see what falls out of your brain, but I wanted to get this done. I just kept forgetting to do it, just like a lot of America just kept forgetting to watch it. I'm taking the bullet. Don't make yourself a hero, Bob. The reality is, Bob, you haven't thought of a different format yet. That's why we're still watching this. I will. This has been going on 14 months. 14 months now. I think it was October of 2020. We started the hardest part of the ring. Now here we are 14 months later. We're winners, God damn it. We're champion. Oh, God, no. Oh, no. My neighbors just woke up. And yeah, so I don't know if you could hear the ceiling creaking over your heads, but be that as it may, that notwithstanding, nevertheless, all things considered, one hand washes the other. A one-trick pony beating a dead horse, hogging the cover, staining his sheets, pissing blood and bleeding piss. There is absolutely no stopping us. I don't know where I am. It is Monday Night Raw. No one knows where they are, but they are coming to us live. Well, they came to us live at one point from Long Island at the IBS Arena, I think it is. Ugh, God. The smell of the bathroom in there. I don't want to go to the IBS Arena. I think it's the UBS Arena, actually. I don't know what that stands for. Whatever. The IBS Arena it is, and that explains, I think it most encapsulates the feel of this show. We hope, Jesus, this isn't going to be good. The show is brought to you by Diet Dr. Pepper. Tastes just like regular Dr. Pepper. Go to Coca-Cola.com/Dr. Pepper. Enter the promo code Bob Squad, and absolutely nothing happens. That is some good pepper right there. I don't do the regular sodas. I haven't had any regular soda in a long, long time. I have the occasional diets. I'll have an occasional Diet Pepsi and an occasional Diet Dr. Pepper. Sometimes I need a little bit of a kick, even though there's no sugar in it, I guess. Just to trick my brain into thinking I'm getting jazzed. I have been very tired lately, folks. Some of my aches and pains are coming back with my hernias, and they're going away. But my kidneys are feeling pretty good. Like they haven't been hurting. I've been drinking my water. I've been taking my walks. So that's good. My kidneys seem under control. But, yeah, my aches. I'm just sitting in that chair too goddamn long, clicking away, copying and pasting. Well, okay, Bob. Hulk Hogan slams Andre the Giant, then Seth Rollins comes out to talk, and then Finn Balor interrupts him, and they have a match, and it's going pretty good. But Finn Balor gets a thumb in the eye for his troubles, and Seth hits his finish. 1, 2, 3. The match gets 1 million stars. And I think this took up like 2 segments. The champion, Big E, is barely mentioned. Nowhere to be found. It is the Seth Rollins show. Sorry, I'm trying to sniffle away from the microphone. I only get the sniffles when I record. I don't know why that is. Now, Becky Lynch has a pink coat. Becky and Seth, second week in a row, they have talking segments and big long segments back to back. Do they have a stipulation like, hey, we're the ones who use the most and we're married, so we want to leave early? Well, no, because Seth's all over the whole show, whereas Becky has her big thing and goes in, goes out. But Becky Lynch enters with a pink coat, and right before she talks, we go to a backstage skit. I became accustomed to the wacky packages while someone's entering and yada yada. At least it was related to the same story. Now someone enters, we just go, hold on, we gotta do an entire skit backstage of something totally unrelated. It's Vince McMahon and Austin Theory. And Vince McMahon, for no reason, tells Austin Theory to watch the show with him. Like, I don't know how that helps. And then Vince says, if you ever steal from me again, I'll kill you. Because remember, Austin Theory stole his $100 million golden egg. Oh, we're never living that down. Becky Lynch is still in the ring, ready to talk. This means for the live crowd. Because the live crowd sees those videos too. Becky Lynch has to enter, get her reaction, and not just stand there in the dark during the commercials where they discontinue playing her music because they have to play ads for all this other dumb bullshit. At some point, while she enters, they have to also show this 1 minute Vince McMahon Austin Theory skit, which isn't even about Becky. So Becky is standing there like an idiot for longer than she takes to initially enter the ring. Sorry for the sniffling. Oh. Anyway, we're back with Becky. And Sonya Deville is there. Oh, and there's right there. We're doing a contract signing. I didn't even know we were doing that. Sonya Deville is doing the Raw Women's Championship contract signing, and we're getting this match next week. We're not waiting till the January 1st pay-per-view. Liv Morgan comes out for the contract signing. I mean, this is the best Liv's ever done. You still see the disadvantage, but it's not as bad. Where Becky, of course, has some free reign to kind of. I don't even know if it's really to say what she wants, kind of say it the way she wants to say it and act how she wants to act. Hers comes off way more as a hey, they gave me bullet points, but I'm still being Becky Lynch type of promo than Liv Morgan's does. A couple of things. I'll do some positives actually. Yeah, this is the best Liv's ever been. I think she did a good job of getting the people behind her. I think Becky Lynch did an excellent job of using her face instead of just trying to talk over Liv like Charlotte would have. Becky used her face to let us know she was selling for Liv. You don't just sell in matches. You sell in promos more than anything else. Uh, she's selling for Liv, telling us Liv has bothered her. Liv has gotten to her. So even when Becky says this little girl doesn't bother me, Becky's face tells a different story. Whereas Charlotte will use her face and body and everything else to tell you no one bothers me, no one gets in my head, and I'm just going to beat them anyway and not sell anything and make Alexa Bliss look ineffective and idiotic, which is what she did. I can't let it go. I wasn't even that big of an Alexa Bliss fan at the time. I just thought it was a complete burial of a character that we put so much TV time into, and then we piss it down the drain because Charlotte. So that was my issue with that. But that didn't happen here because Becky did a really great job. Big nitpick. This is more than a nitpick. This is a problem. So on one of their exclusive internet thingies, hey, wouldn't you know it, the best promos that everyone does are the ones where they're not scripted because it's just for the internet, it's not for TV, and they're told, just do your best. And Becky cuts this amazing promo a week or two ago, or whenever the Survivor Series was. Try to block it out. After Charlotte, she's in tears. She's still mad that she's happy she won, blah, blah, blah. But she lost her friend. They were in a car accident together once, and they bonded and everything else. And it was real. It was emotional. So the baby, and this is total Vince McMahon, the babyface Liv Morgan decides, hey, I'm going to play this and make fun of you for your emotion over losing your friend. Not the friend dying, but just losing the friendship. And you and a friend were in a car crash and everything else. And, you used to be best friends and now you're torn apart. What the hell? And the goal, and this is total Vince McMahon. See, we're gonna make fun of the heel because she showed emotion and had a friend once she cared about. No, it was the biggest babyface promo. Nobody was booing, or that I know of, was majorly booing or mocking Becky Lynch for when they re-aired that. I think they just knew it was good and had to get it on TV, so they thought of any excuse. And this was not a good excuse because this made Liv a bully for a minute, even though she's been the one just to always get bullied, and she's been bullied by Becky. So why? Vince doesn't understand the thing. That's why that whole "Don't be a bully, be a star" campaign like 10 years ago. Yes, I am aware that that was the end of the pipe bomb promo with CM Punk before he really got into it, whatever. But no, my because I was still in indie wrestling in San Diego at the time, and we were. I remember us all making fun of that as the dumbest. You can't have a bunch of heel wrestlers saying "Don't be a bully." Even baby faces, the way baby faces are in WWE with their name calling and stupid insults, they're still the biggest bullies alive. So the whole thing's dumb. Then there's the McMahons. But this was really weird and convoluted where Becky said, you know what, I set up a challenge. Do you accept my 10 woman 5 versus 5 tag challenge? What does that prove? Look at the graphic that we had made up already on the screen, and then Liv looks at the graphic and then accepts it. Like, why would they make the graphic if they don't know the match is happening? And Sony is there to approve it. Yeah. They just had no excuse. I don't know. Was something set out of order to hype up this or to officially set up this match on TV? Just say you're having the match. Why can't we just say that the officials said this match is happening? And Becky just say later, I know there's a 10-man tag, my team versus yours, and we're gonna kick your ass. It's gonna be a preview of whatever the fuck the pay-per-view is. Nope, didn't make a lot of sense. But whatever, they set up the match. Oh, and by the way, there's still 10 women on the roster. Who knew? I couldn't name another. I couldn't name an 11th while I was watching that. That's good, Pepper. RK Bro, Randy Orton lets Riddle put a wig on his head. And then RK Bro wrestles the Dirty Dogs. This match was very good, especially as we started going towards the finish. People were buying it. People were starting to pop that the Dirty Dogs. They were starting to buy that the Dirty Dogs might win this thing, which on paper sounds preposterous, but these guys are all good enough workers. I mean, Riddle's. I mean, he's the best athlete. I know he's not, but the other three are the most amazing workers, and I'm not surprised at all that they pulled it off. And this was very good. This was a really good match. Match of the night, probably. The 10 women tag was also very good, especially because those are usually. I'll get to that later. Edge returns. Holy balls! But wait a minute. As Edge enters the ring, we cut to a backstage skit that has nothing to do with Edge. We did this once already. Adam Pearce is with Seth Rollins, and I forget what it was. Seth Rollins says something about Kevin Owens lying about. I will get to that later, I guess. I don't remember, dude. There were 90 of these things. Seth Rollins and Adam Pearce did something. So Edge, we got back to Edge. Remember him? Big triumphant return. Cut to fucking Adam Pearce and Seth Rollins. Edge has Long Island hot for him. Edge is doing his thing. He's interrupted by Miz and Maurice, who return at the same time. And they have a big back and forth, and this was by and large very good. Edge was very, very real. We know he's had his acting classes and his movies and his TVs and everything else. And he likes to show it off. He's been doing that. And Miz, they showed a lot of his Dancing with the Stars clips and montages. Okay. Miz doesn't evolve very quickly. I know he doesn't look anything. He wears a different outfit compared to 7 years ago, and 5 years before that he wore another completely different. I know, like from 5 years to 5 years, you can't tell them apart, but really he evolves very slowly. Like really, he's a guy who's been wearing the same thing for 5 years, same speech, same entrance, same edge. He's a WWE tool all the way. Edge, Orton, Miz, and Natalia, I think, have been here consistently. Well, not Edge, not consistently, but God, Edge was there in the late 90s, Jesus. But consistently, I mean, barring injuries, but without ever leaving the company or whatever. Yeah, Edge, Natalia, and Miz too. Miz would be like, I don't know, 06, 07, something like that. Maybe a little later, maybe 07 or 08, whatever, one of those. But it would be Orton, Natalia, then Miz, I think, as far as who's hasn't wrestled anywhere else and just been there the longest. Orton would be the easiest one. And Edge has really been with the company. Like, Edge didn't do any TNA bullshit or anything. It doesn't matter anyway. So Maurice is there too. Maurice gets hotter every year. I don't know how she does that. She's had 2 kids and she's the hottest she's ever been. And she's very hot. She's always been very hot. I don't usually go off on the hotness of the ladies. They're all pretty hot. I mean, they're all very hot. So it's kind of like any woman on a roster by and large goes into a bar. She's the hottest one there, and number 2 isn't close. So it's really silly. Pick a random. I just mentioned Natalia like a second ago. Natalia's like what 36, I think 35. Natalia walks into a bar. She's the hottest woman there, and number 2 isn't close. I guarantee you. So, what was the point of that rant? There was no point to that. So the two of them have their back and forth. Maurice says her piece about Miz being great, and Maurice did something wonderful here when she wasn't talking. And what she said was fine. She did very good. But when Edge is yelling at Miz and telling him who he used to be and firing him up and everything else, Maurice once or twice like just looked down or looked away. It was really subtle, but she did that almost as if she knows Edge is telling the truth here and there, and she doesn't want to admit it because like her character would love the fame, the glory, the money, yada yada. It was really subtle, and it doesn't mean Maurice isn't going to turn on Miz or anything stupid like that. It just means Maurice was not doing all of the cookie cutter, like, no, we must control every single twitch and sneeze and nose pick that you do while you're on fucking TV. It was this tiny little thing, but it's stuck. If you're not really looking for it, you don't notice it, but it still goes into your brain, I think. And it helps Miz's character. Um, and Miz didn't do bad, but Miz did the same. And of course, Edge mentions, he references AEW, CM Punk telling MJF he's a less famous Miz, which they did last week. Is that the sole reason they brought Miz back? Probably not, but it was convenient. So we're setting up Edge and Miz probably at the freaking pay per view on January 1st, I'm assuming, which will be very good, by the way. And Miz is a good opponent for Edge. Miz has been around a long time. He works pretty much. I mean, Miz works the WWE style. He's a WWE wrestler through and through and through, and that's all he's ever. So he knows that style, and he'll be safe with Edge. Um, Miz will make Edge look good. Blah blah. Edge will make Miz look good. So that will be very good. I think a lot of people sleep on it on paper, and I bet you it's going to be one of the really more awesome parts of the show, just like Edge and Seth was at the SummerSlam. I sound like Bret Hart used at the SummerSlam a few months ago. Okay, moving on. And oh yeah, Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins. Kevin Owens' new character is he only lies, but he lies compulsively for no reason. He just makes up lies and he tells Seth, "Hey, if I beat Big E tonight, hey, remember the champion? Do you remember the champion? This is the second time I've brought him up, and we haven't seen him yet. The champion is Big E. Kevin Owens is wrestling Big E. He tells Seth, hey, if I win, it'll be a 3-way instead of a 2-way, which is a match." And I didn't say 2-way. It would be funny if he did. And Seth says you're lying, and Seth runs around to cry to Adam Pearce, and he finds him later. Damian Priest, the U.S. champion, is still there, and he's wrestling Apollo. Apollo has CGI lions. I'm not kidding. And he comes to the ring with a giant spork. And then Commander Sneeze comes out. But then Commander Disease gets kicked out of the ring when he interferes. He shoves Priest or pulls his leg, or I forget what the fuck he did. So no more Commander Disease. He gets kicked out. Oh, and then Priest beats Apollo really quickly after that. 1, 2, 3. Match gets 7,000 stars. Seth Rollins is backstage. Oh my god, it's the 90th Seth Rollins segment. We're not done with him. He's there with Adam Pearce. He's there with Sonya Deville, and they tell him, no, we didn't tell Kevin Owens it would be a three-way if he wins, but maybe that's not a bad idea, whatever the hell. The 10-woman tag. Bianca Belair can walk to the ring to anyone else's entrance music and make it work. So they all came out, the team, Liv Morgan. And I'm sorry, Liv, but Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley coming out as part of Team Liv Morgan is a little. It's silly, and visually, I'm watching this and I'm like, if I am flipping channels, because Rhea's getting bigger in the arms and shoulders, if I am flipping channels, I do not see anyone on this TV screen beating up Rhea Ripley if I don't watch this show. So we do the 5 women versus the 5 women. Let me get some Diet Pepper. Diet Pepper. Hold on. So we have to do the cartoonish thing with Carmella's mask and Graves over the top commentary because get it, I'm having sex with her, lol. We've been driving that point home forever and ever, just as he's clearly been driving it home forever. Oh, Bob, stop it. Will you stop? Okay. So, oh yeah, Carmella and Zelina won the tag team championships the week before, yay. So Nikki Cross did almost nothing in this match. She hit like one move and then got beat up. Dana Brooke is on this team, the good guy team, and she's still the 24/7 champion. She stands on a top turnbuckle for 3 days and then eventually falls backwards and takes a trust fall onto her own team. We go into the finish, and Liv Morgan pinned someone who's not Becky. And Becky was great. She did the whole thing where she'd get in there with Liv. She let Liv bump her like twice and then tagged out. And Becky so like Charlotte wouldn't have done any of this. So Liv hit her finish on. I couldn't fucking tell you. It wasn't Tamina. Was it Carmella? Was it Zelina? Who else is on the team? Becky, Zelina, Carmella, Tamina, and a fourth one. I don't know who the hell it was because they keep firing all of them every week. There's no way of knowing. We're on good guys. Dana Brooke, Rhea Ripley, Nikki ASH, Bianca Belair, Liv Morgan. This is going to bother me now. I'm sorry. This is Becky, Tamina, Carmella. Carmella, Zelina go together. It's easy. I know Tamina was there because I want to say something about that. And Becky. Dewdrop. Dewdrop was there. Dewdrop did not take the pin. It was someone wearing blacks, and so it probably wasn't Tamina. It was probably Zelina Vega who took it. That's my best guess. Because they wouldn't have put Carmella in there in that position. I don't think. And if Liv, and I forget, it's been a day, but if Liv pinned Becky, I'd remember that and go, oh, okay, that didn't happen. Anyway, so Liv pins someone, and, we're building up as much steam as we can before Liv loses to Becky on New Year's Day, and she is, but that's not the end of the world. I don't have a problem with that because they're not playing the feud like Liv has. That Liv can't get anything on Becky or get in Becky's head or bother her. They're just showing Becky act threatened. So it's going to be okay when Becky beats Liv. By the way, let's get the fuck. Let's be real. So yeah, it's going to be okay. Charlotte and Alexa was Charlotte no selling everything Alexa said and did for like a month, and then beat her in a one-sided match. Like, okay, well, what was the point of this? Oh, so at the end of the match, Bianca can't quite get her hands on Dewdrop, so they still have a thing, which is good. It's good to have non-title picture women's feuds. It gives more of them something to do, and more of them will be over, which will make the title scene better. The title scene will be better if you have other women having some other goddamn issues. Jesus. And they're playing up that Nikki ASH is holding Rhea back thing, and now that the titles are off of them, who knows? I think there was one point Rhea and Becky were in the ring together, and it was kind of like holy shit, let's see what happens, and then Becky tagged out or whatever the hell, which is interesting. Let's keep our eyeball on that. That's the logical place to go. And Bianca Belair hoists Tamina up for her finisher, which is that she'll push up in that Lex Luger torture rack and then gives you a face bump and sits out, whatever the hell that is. Like a sit out burning hammer, I guess, for you indie nerds or whatever the hell. And she hoists Tamina up, and I think she did give Tamina the move a week or two ago, but safely, and it was great. It's impressive. But the heels pulled Tamina off of Bianca's shoulders to save her from taking the finish. Because we do need it. We didn't have a Bianca feat of strength yet, and we needed just to show one real quick in all that chaos. So the heels pulled Tamina off, but they jerked Tamina off Bianca so hard down to the mat that it might have just been easier on Tamina to take the goddamn finish. The way she was up there on her shoulders, drunk. Like, oh, okay. Well, you know what? I think she was better off just taking the bump, letting one person do it than five of them do it for her. Okay. We cut to Vince McMahon. He slaps Austin Theory for no reason. Wait, what? Hang on. Hang on. Let's talk about this for a second here. Um, Austin Theory, who's been watching the show allegedly with Vince McMahon in his tights or something instead of wrestling. For no reason, Vince McMahon stands up, shakes his hand, and then slaps him right in the face. And this healthy, in great shape 23-year-old goes down and falls into the chair when decrepit 700-year-old Vince McMahon slaps him. So we neutered him. There was no reason to do that. Vince just said, expect the unexpected or whatever the fuck. Okay. Well, what's the point of that? Except to jerk off Vince, I guess. The main event, Big E the champion's finally here. Oh, he shows up and Big E the champion talks to an Irish guy for 30 seconds, and Big E he's the champion of the show and he doesn't want to be there. And I'd be pissed off too. I wouldn't show it on camera, but I'd be pissed off too because the champion has had nothing to do with this show. It's the Seth Rollins show all over again. So Big E's like champion in name, like they're making him a paper champion. It kind of sucks. Anyway, Big E wrestles Kevin Owens. They have a little match back and forth. It's not bad, but it's not memorable. Doesn't have to be long to be good. I always say that, but it wasn't. I don't think it was super long either, but 10 minutes maybe. But they have a good main event Raw match. They do their things to each other. Nothing really historic. Seth Rollins is in a wacky suit, of course, and he's coming down and blah 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 blah. What the hell was the finish? Oh, so if Kevin Owens wins, of course, he gets added to the pay per views. A three-way. So we all know, but by some hook or crook, Kevin Owens is beating Big E. We just hope he's not pinning Big E to take more piss out of Big E's championship reign. And of course, the finish that I predicted in my head, and I don't see Twitter spoilers for Raw anymore. I used to constantly see them, but now I don't see Twitter spoilers for Raw at all on Twitter. Why? Because no one's talking about Raw. I follow the same people. I have the same feed. It's just no one cares. So I watched this thing 24 hours after it happened, and nothing was spoiled. And in my head, I went, uh, KO is going to goad Seth Rollins into hitting him, so KO wins by DQ. And that was the finish. So there you go. So Kevin Owens is goaded. I think he punched Rollins. He yelled at him, then he shoved him, and then he punched him. Little escalation. Okay. It had nothing to do with Big E. I think Big E went to hit his finish on Owens at one point, and Owens got out of it, wiggled out of it. So Owens was just there. I mean, Big E, the champion, is just there. We heard from him for less than a minute. We saw him wrestle a match that had nothing to do with him, really. He was there as a formality. And it's the Seth Rollins show. So that's Big E's championship reign. It's about everyone but him. So there you go. I know not the answer, folks. I know not the answer. That was Monday Night Raw. That was Monday Night freaking Raw. It's getting grim, guys. I thank you for watching my recent fun boxings. They have been fun and boxing. The Optimus Prime Kingdom one is a lot of fun. I'm going to pick him up right now. There he is. There he is. And yeah, Mark, so I just got the core Optimus Prime like an hour ago or two, or 2 hours, whatever the hell I went shopping. Just again, I saw him there in a store. And I just went, you know what? Just do it because. And I rescued a His Tank 3 from the retro GI Joe line. Why do I say rescued? Because my Walmart has had like 12 of them, the same 12 or 15 or whatever of them, on the shelves for like 3, 4 months, maybe longer. And whenever they first came out, and they've just been sitting there, and no one's buying the damn things. They're collecting dust. Some boxes are starting to get a little beat up, but they've been staying on that shelf, and they discounted it not a lot by like $3. They put it on clearance instead of like just under 26 American dollars. It's like 23 American dollars or something. So I figured, oh, hey, new figure and a vehicle, even though it's a repaint. And now I have three His tanks that are all repaints of each other. It's kind of, I feel a little weird about that. But it is what it is. It's done. So I rescued the damn thing. I just got it out of my brain because every time I'm there, it just bothers me. I'm like, I should get one. No, I shouldn't. Yes, I should. No, I shouldn't. And I've been tired of doing that for months and months. Just maybe later, maybe later. Finally, I just went, just get it, just get one. It's over. Okay, you're driving yourself crazy. It's the same thing with me with junk food. It's like, don't space it out. Just eat it. It's in the house. Eat it. Okay, it's over. Because you're craving it, you're thinking about it. It's distracting you. So just eat the crap. And now that you have it, and now it's done. Now there's no more to eat. It's over, and it's the same thing. I'm definitely not buying a second His 3 for God's sake. I can't believe I have the first one. I haven't even looked at it since I got the damn thing. I'll probably do a fun boxing on that just to open a bigger vehicle, and I think that unlike how I have to do cuts with Transformers, I think with the Hiss I could build that on camera. I mean, just have fun with that. I hope. So that's what we'll do. The core Optimus Prime I took him out. He's not going to be fun, but I just did a Kingdom Optimus Prime. It's really kind of silly to do the core one afterwards. He's really going to be just so he can be somewhat more easily transformed on camera is really the sole purpose of that. That's all it is. Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. I'm playing with him right now as I'm talking, which I shouldn't be doing. That's because you could probably tell. But there we go. And 7 minutes of my new GI Joe Sun Bob episode are done. So let's keep this under 20. I hope. Say that every time. Let's keep it under 20. 15, 16 would be nice. Then credits. So maybe 17 total if you're counting credits or whatever. Let's hope to keep it there. The He-Man one was not originally intended to be this fucking mini movie, this 45-minute thing, but you know what? I'm glad it was. I'm very glad it was. Thank you, Bob Squad, and forever anybody who joined me, the hardest part of the ring. It is much appreciated. Someone asked me in a toy chat recently, someone I did not know, said, "Hey, can I be part of the Bob Squad?" The answer is already yes. Yes, you are. There are original Bob Squad members. That is true. They know who they are. But if you're asking me that question, the answer is already yes. You are part of the Bob Squad, and I thank you very much for that. Just as long, my only tale of caution is to look both ways before crossing the street. Don't